Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at michaels.com. Today we are going to make a winter set, but we're only going to concentrate on the scarf in today's tutorial. There are two different kinds of colors of scarf, but they're actually using the same yarn of the Caron Tea Cakes, and this is exactly what we're going to get. I have to tell you, this is such an easy pattern that I think you'll be able to whip this off in no time. So without further ado, let's dive a little bit more into the pattern and let's get you started today. So today's yarn of choice is the Caron Tea Cakes, and you can see that the colors that are inside this absolutely just fabulous. And this particular scarf is available in and hat is actually available in two different sizes. So what we have is a normal scarf, so not a super scarf, and the hat combination. You only need 2 balls of the tea cakes, and if you're gonna do a super scarf with the hat, then you need 3 balls. So it's really quite a wonderful thing. So I've already done the hat, so I ended up with almost a half a ball left, and then with another full ball that you can get a scarf out of this really quite easily. Let me show you my sample of the scarf because I think you're gonna love it, and let's take a look at that next. So here's a sample of what it looks like, and what we have to do is that we have to get ourselves started right on here on the base, and then once we get ourselves started, each one of the puff stitches, so it's a puff V stitch, is sitting inside of each other. It's like nesting in each other, and once you get this started, it's so easy, it's crazy. So I love this particular idea because it's just really quick. Now because it is a puff stitch, it's not a hard puff stitch, it's actually only wrapping it twice, so you only have 5 loops on the hook. Most puff stitches have end up having 7 loops on the hook, and it gets a little more cumbersome. So this one is a nice quick and easy little puff stitch, and you will have some great success with this. So without further ado, let's get started. You'll need an 8mm size L crochet hook today and Caron Tea Cakes in order to play. You see that the colors will change on its own just like it shows within the model's photo. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's begin, and we're going to start off with the chain, and the chain is going to be chaining of 22, so it's not too long. So just wrap in the hook and pull through. Remember, the first one that we start with never counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go all the way to 22 for me. Maybe back here in just a moment. So now that I got my chain complete, all I want to do is that I want to go 3rd chain from the hook. So just look at it and just count it back. So 1, 2, and 3. Turn it over and get the back loop only, and I want you to half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. The chaining of this space that you see right here never counts as a stitch within this pattern, so that makes it easy to remember too. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna skip the next chain on here and go to the second one over, and we're gonna do a V stitch puff. So how to do that, watch, is that you wrap the hook and going into the 2nd chain that you're skipping, that's the one that it's the one that's after you skipped, and you wrap and you pull through. So now you got 3 chains on the hook, or sorry, so let's begin. So now that we're about to start, so we're gonna skip the next one and go to the 2nd chain over, and we're gonna do a V stitch puff. So we wrap the hook going into that stitch, pull through and hold it. Don't go any more on that, and I want you to wrap it again and going into that same stitch and pull through, and now you have your 5 loops on here. Most V stitch, most puffs really have 7, so this is a nice easier one. There's not as much on the hook, and you're gonna wrap and pull through all of them but the final. So just pull through all the first 4. Once you get more yarn into your hand, it's easier to manipulate, and then once you have that done is that you're gonna wrap and then pull through the final 2. And now you're going to chain 1 and do that exact same thing into the same stitch. So wrap the yarn and into the same one, pull through, and then wrap the yarn into the same one again, pull through, and you have 5 loops on the hook. So wrap and pull through the first 4, and then pull through the final 2, and that's your V stitch puff. So now you're gonna come back to your work here, and now you're gonna skip the next 2 chains. So you only skip 1 the very first time out from the very beginning of the side. So let's continue going across. So you're gonna skip the next 2 and then V stitch puff into the next one. So wrap and in and pull through, and wrap in to the same one, pull through, and now you have your 5 loops again, and then wrap and pull through the first 4 loops, and then for the final 2. So there's 1 puff stitch, chain 1, and then do it again. So in same stitch and pull through the 4 loops only, and then pull through the final 2. So now coming back down to the chain, you want to skip 2 chains and go to the 3rd one over and do another V-stitch puff. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Once you get more yarn into your hands like this material, it gets easier. So chain 1 and puff again, and you're gonna do that all the way across your chain. This one is kind of the hardest part of this, is just getting it started. So then skip the next 2 and then puff V-stitch into the 3rd one again. So the V is kind of representing that 2 puff stitches are in the same one. So chain 1 to separate them and then into the same one again. Okay, skip the next 2 and V-stitch puff into the next one. Chain 1, puff stitch again, and then skip 2, sometimes you don't always get it in the right way. It's best to take your time. For tutorial reasons, I find myself kind of rushing. So chain 1 and then coming in, just like that. So you only have 2 stitches left on your chain, so 1 and 2. So you're just gonna come over and you're going to skip the only 1 and half double crochet in the end. Remember what I said to you is that when you started out on this side is that there was only 1 skip chain on this side, and then you did your puff and then skipping 2 for the remaining of it. So let's begin the next row, which is the repeat for the entire duration of the scarf. So let's turn your work and let's begin row number 2, which is gonna be the same each and every time. So you're gonna chain 2, but it does not count as anything. It's a builder, and in the top of this half double crochet you're going to double crochet again. Okay, so that'll always happen on the edge. So you always chain 2 and then half double crochet into the top. So here's your puff stitch. These are the V's. You're gonna put another V right in between. So just wrap and in and do your V's right in between the existing V's, and chain, don't forget to chain 1 to separate them. Okay, so that's a V-stitch right there. So you jump in between the next one here, so you can see how they're kind of belonging together. You just go right in between them. And you just do that all the way across. So just come to the next one and separate them. And so it almost looks like it's really bulky knitting stitches, the way it reminds me of the way it looks, because they're nesting inside of each other. So when we look at it, see, they're just kind of resting right into each other, and you keep doing that all the way across. So you just go the whole duration of the scarf doing this exact same what you just learned here, and it's that easy. Now there is a matching hat to this particular pattern, and the matching hat has the same stitch too, and the hat really did not take me much time at all. I was actually quite shocked, and I shouldn't be, because it's a big hook and really thick yarn, but it looks really good, and I think it'll be really quite popular as well. So you can have a nice matching set depending on the colors that you want. And once you have that done, so this is the final V-stitch. Don't confuse this chain at the end for being a stitch. You're just gonna go into the top of that half double crochet with the half double crochet and turn. So we start the next row exactly what you already know. So you chain up 2, does not count as anything, and in the top you half double crochet into the top of this half double crochet, and then V-stitch puff in between the next section, and keep them. Look at the colors, it just went to a beautiful copper. Love this yarn. You have no idea. I love the tea cake yarn, it's awesome. So you can see it just rests right inside, and then you just go down into the next one, just kind of push it apart if you have to, and then put your another V-stitch puff in, chain 1 and V-stitch. just like so. So you just have to go back and forth using the same configuration, and then you get to the length that you would like. And the scarf is measuring 74 inches if you're doing a regular size scarf, but if you're doing a super scarf that requires more yarn, then it's 84 inches, and that choice is up to you. And you could add fringe to the very end of it to add a lot more character, and that's been taken into account for the ball count as well. So on behalf of Michaels.com as well as the Crochet Crowd, please enjoy your day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.